Okay, still January exam calculator portion. Question number 31 wanted you to find this. What's that? It's the inverse. 92% of the population figured out the correct answer was A. Just swap your X's and Y's around. Next question, number 32. This is an inverse question. So we start an inverse by swapping our X and Y values. I'm going to do a cross multiply to get rid of the fraction. And then I want to put everything that has a y on one side and everything that doesn't on the other side. Doesn't matter which side you choose. Once everything on the left-hand side has a y, I can pull y out as a GCF. So then when I divide through, the inverse was represented by option A. Question number 36, nice and easy. It wanted the minimum degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct answer was D. Question number 37 says this polynomial has 6 as one of its roots. According to the integral root theorem, remember that's fancy words for the trie numbers. Which of the following could be a value for C? Remember, if 6 was one of the roots, 6 has to be able to divide into that, making 18 the only possible value that worked. Question number 38 asked you to find the quotient and the remainder for this division. So -2 outside. Along the top row of the box, I've got my coefficients and nothing is missing. So I'm going to start my repeated process of multiplying and adding all the way down the row. So my quotient, x cubed plus, or t cubed plus t squared plus 3t plus 15, remainder of -44, correct answer was A. We are up to question number 44. This was evaluating a logarithm, just plugging it right into the calculator. 94% figured out the answer was C. Question number 45. Now this one's a little tricky. It says the number of insects in a colony can triple in 7 weeks. After 50 weeks, how many times greater will the number be than after 20 weeks? So someone asked me about this question today, and I said, okay, if I gave you these two numbers and I said, how many times greater is 10 than 2? The answer is 5. And you get that by dividing them. So if you take 3 to the power of 50 over 7 and divide by 3 to the power of 20 over 7, you'll get the correct answer, which is option B. 57% of the population figured that out. So number 46, we are going from 600 down to 105. I am looking for the half-life. I know it takes 12 days to get from here to here. When I divide out the 600, I will have a 0.175. So we've talked about the fact it's a little itty-bitty bit harder when the unknown is in the denominator. I hope you asked for help if you were confused on that. So these two guys are going to swap positions, and the correct answer is A. Question number 47 says the intensity of light reduces by 7% for every 3 meters. And at what depth will it be reduced to 60%? So we're going to go down to 60%. We're reducing by 7%, so our rate is 0.93 every 3 meters. I'm using D for depth. So log base 0.93 of 0.6, you're going to have to plug this into your calculator and then multiply by 3. Correct answer, 21.12. All right, we are on to the open-ended section of your exam, and I am going to use my solutions to make this a little bit faster, starting with question number 55. So this guy asked you to solve algebraically. So I logged both sides, dropped the exponents down in front, did a distribution, x log 5 and 1 log 5, put the two guys that had an x on the same side of the equation so that I could factor the x out, and then divided through. Now remember, if you want to enter that into your calculator. Brackets will have to go around the denominator. Question number 56. Now these guys did not have a ghost graph. Don't worry, there will be a ghost graph on your exam. So I drew in the ghost graph. I've got a vertical reflection and a vertical stretch by 2. I did both of those at the same time. That's this faint dotted line right here, and then moved 3 units to the left. 57 has an absolute value in it. I'm not going to put an absolute value on your test, but horizontal stretch by 2, so all of my x values got doubled. -4 went to -8, -2 to -4, and then the absolute value just meant that the negatives popped up and became positives. The positives didn't move, but the negatives became positives. And that was it.